This is Phil Stafford here for CNTV. Today I'm here with Justin HACKL, the owner and founder of HACKL Custom Guitars and Repairs. Justin, you have an incredible story. Why don't you just start us off with that, how you got into this industry and your background in music?
I've been playing guitar for almost 20 years, and I used to do a lot of touring around the country. Around 2006 is when I was doing the most of my touring. And that band decided to stop. I was 27 at the time, something like that. Didn't know what to do with myself anymore. I started researching stuff online. I was like, well, I had to fix my guitar all the time. I didn't know what I was doing, but I made it work. And I was like, maybe there's a school where I could learn how to repair and maybe get into a shop. So I did research, and then I found the school in Phoenix. It's called the Roberto Venn School of Luthery in Phoenix. Almost 6-month program. It's 50 hours a week. Curriculum is you build one acoustic, one electric, and then there's a 5-week repair course. If you're caught up with everything, you can build another instrument. So I actually ended up building 2 electric guitars while I was down there. The more I got into the building side of it, the more I was like, you know, I really like the building side. This is cool because it gave me more creative freedom to kind of do whatever I want, especially with the electric instruments, because you really can. As long as the strings are in the right spot, you can make whatever you want, really. And that I really, really liked. To be honest, the repairs, the bread and butter of the business. It really is. It's a lot quicker, obviously, but I just keep building because I just keep love doing it. The more I build, the more people out there are playing my instruments, and the name's slowly starting to spread, and each one gets better than the last. And so when I got back from school, I got the money together to get all the tools, and I just recently moved into this location a couple months ago, and now I'm working from home, which is great because I can just walk right to work and spend a lot of time doing it here.
You definitely said you have a background here playing music in Denver, so you have a lot of contacts through that. Kind of walk us through how growing your business has been.
I think what gave me the initial confidence to start was the fact that I had been playing music for so long in Denver and Boulder, mostly Denver. Once I had my tools, it'd be like, hey, friends, I'm open. Obviously, Facebook's a huge help. I just got my friend to do a really nice website for me and started telling my friends, hey, come on in, and doing it for cheap at first to try to get my friends in here. Once the friends started getting it, it became referral after referral. I do a little bit of advertising on Google, things like that. Just little things to kind of push so people who don't know me can get the name out there. It's been great. The word has spread. The ones that are slow as far as repair goes, those are the times I get to build the custom stuff. And that's really when I'm having the most fun anyway. That's when it doesn't feel like a job. I get to play with all these tools and just make stuff. If I hadn't been playing music locally for so long, I don't know if I would have taken the risk because it would have been a lot harder, I think, for people to come get me. But it's been good so far. No complaints.
Well, guys, check him out on that website there at the bottom of your screen, HACKLguitars.com. You can check out his contact links right there, and also his email, get right to him, and his cell phone is listed right there so you can get in touch with him as quick as possible. Tell me about that process that you go through to make each guitar here.
Only a few of them have been for me. Really, it starts with an idea from the customer. It's basically, what do you want? What are you going for? And a lot of times they'll name something that's already been done, or they'll name a company of a brand of guitar they really like. At first, I'll try to push my own designs, just be like, look, this is an original, this is mine. And I usually try to cut a deal that way too. You're like, hey, look, you do my design, I'll keep the price a little lower. I try to take the design and change it to make it my own. And then we just kind of go from there. I give them every option they can. Like, hey, there's thousands of different pickups out there. There's tons of different woods we can use. There's hardware, all that stuff. And I just talk and give them my opinion, and then I take their opinion, and we just send emails back and forth until we find the right stuff for each one, so that it really is truly exactly what they wanted. Even inlay work, you want custom stuff on anything, just tell me what you want, and we'll see we can do it. And 9 out of 10 times we probably can. Again, it all goes back to electric guitars because you can get away with anything with those, which is why I love doing it. That's basically the process. You come in half down, we'll get it made, and then the other half, if we can work out a payment plan, we'll do it. But that's really how it works. Every single one has been very unique and very true to the customer, what they wanted. It's been really cool to see their ideas plus mine together come to life. And then 2 weeks after I'm finished, they're playing a show, and I get to see my instrument on stage, and it's like, wow, look at that. And it just sounds awesome. I don't use cheap stuff because I wanted to sound and play great. So, if you're going to spend all this time building it, why not?
I'm not very familiar with where everything comes from as parts-wise, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that, where you get the actual pieces to make these custom guitars?
Kind of all over. A lot of my pickups I'll get online, even eBay, actually, surprisingly, just because there's so many online music stores through eBay. So that's one spot. The actual wood, I can get up the street actually from here in a place called Paxton's. There's also a place down in Mississippi called Austin Hardwoods, and they have a huge selection of stuff. So you can actually find huge boards and just pick the actual piece, which I have around here somewhere. A lot of the exotic woods like ebony, which is a really rare wood and dark. In fact, Gibson recently got raided for having illegal ebony in their shops. So I usually have to get that online. It's not easy to find that kind of stuff locally. Little things like knobs, I can find that at local music shops that are pretty quick. But if I can just get it all in one chunk and just get a big box full of stuff, like, hey, the guitar's here, like I said, they start off as big blocks of wood. It truly is like handmade, obviously not the hardware, but everything else is handmade, hand cut, hand everything. So it takes a while.
And it's all done right here in his very own shop, so you're getting the best of quality, as he said, handmade, handcrafted. We don't want to leave out the repairs that you do. Tell me about the services you offer in that field.
It can go anywhere from just a basic restring all the way to like pulling all the frets out and putting brand new frets in. Sometimes I do finish work if I'm into it. Sometimes I think that when a guitar has dents and scratches, it gives it character. I'll do it if I have to. Basic setup just gets the neck in the right spot. It checks all the electronics if it's an electric guitar and makes sure that nothing's scratchy or poppy or needs to be replaced. It gets the strings in the right spot so that the action on the strings is exactly where the customer likes it. And then it also gets it intonated so that no matter where you're touching on the fretboard, that it plays in tune no matter where you're at. Especially here in Colorado where the weather can be so dry, necks will move a lot. Humidity, more than people know, affects guitars. And especially this time of year when it's the fall, necks will just move. And next thing you know, their strings are so high off the fretboard. My guitar is so hard to play. It's like, well, bring it in. Sometimes strings buzz and they sound weird, and then it requires a fret level. So you level all the frets out and make sure they're all looking nice and playing good. So it just plays really well. Replacing the nut is a big thing too. A lot of times they're made of plastic. Again, you're going to get buzz from that. And I like to use bone because it lasts a lot longer and it just sounds a lot better when you replace it with something like that, especially in acoustic guitars. Those are the basic things. Pickup swapping is a big thing too. Guitars that cost anywhere from $300 to $700. Sure, mid-grade guitars, not awful, and usually what's wrong with them is the parts are kind of cheap and the pickups really don't sound that great. But, for a couple $100, you buy the pickups and come to me, and I can put in these really nice sounding pickups, and oh my God, you have a great sounding guitar now. And it's true. I mean, a lot of people will spend thousands of dollars on these guitars, and they sound good right when you buy them, and that's great. Honestly, you could probably spend a little less, buy some good pickups, and the thing sounds just as good, if not better, than some of those $1,000 guitars. And it's a thing I encourage a lot of people to do, and I love when people come to me with that kind of stuff. It's like, I bought this okay guitar, can you make this better? And absolutely. And it really isn't that expensive. I mean, like I said, spend $300 to $400, you pay me maybe a couple hundred and then another couple hundred on pickups, and then you have exactly what you want. You're getting the tone you want, and it's going to play better. Again, some people want to have the name brand. Oh, I have a Gibson. Oh, that's cool. You could have spent, $1,000 less, and it probably sounds better. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Gibsons don't sound good, because a lot of them sound amazingly well. But there's so many tricks and things you can do with the guitar, and it's a never-ending search. Most guitar players will forever search and search and search for the perfect tone, and it's like, you're never going to find it. You're going to find what you like, and then 2 years later you may want to play something different. There's a lot of things you can do here. So
well, make sure you check out that website, HACKLguitars.com. You can see the services and the rates there for everything that Justin can help you out with. Make sure you get in contact with him as soon as possible. Get anything set up. Like he's mentioned earlier, he's willing to sit down and get anything worked out with everybody and anybody in the music industry. So make sure you check out Hackle Custom Guitars and Repairs. Once again, the website is HACKLguitars.com. This is Phil Stafford for CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.